good morning. And here's a big hug to you, and a big hug to me as well. Mmm, so good. Well, welcome this morning to our Coffee and Crafting with Pelletier Craft Studio here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am so excited to see you today because we're going to be doing some stuff that's really fun. So, you've heard the saying that there's an ugly sweater national day. Look, if I'm wearing an ugly sweater, please tell me because I want to take it off. But that doesn't mean I can't have fun with a sweater on my card, okay? So, with all of that being said, let's get together today and let's do some Christmas cards. Yeah, I needed 565 Christmas cards. That means that 565 of you are going to be receiving Christmas cards from us. Now, how did we decide how many were getting Christmas cards? Well, place an order with us, and who knows, you can find out. But if you want to know how to get a birthday card, you got to get online and send an email to Cindy at PelletierCraftStudio.com. Be sure you put in your birthday. All we want to know is the month and the day, because around here, everybody was born in 2020. I mean, what can I say? It was just a year to be remembered. But we got to get busy making our cards. I've already wasted a full minute. So let's jump on over and see what I have on the craft table. Now remember, we are crafting off the cuff here, just like we do every morning. And we're going to be making some cards, and I haven't even started to design them yet. But I did make a few decisions, and some of the decisions that I made, I had to back up and regroup on because when I laid it down on my desk, it didn't look like it was going to work. But this is one that I am going to make work because I've just got to have some fun with this. Now, if you're one of those girls that just goes panicky every time you see somebody pick up a pair of scissors with a stamp in their hand, I want you to turn your head because I am going to cut this stamp. And the reason that I'm cutting it is because I want to stamp my young lady. I do not want to stamp the sentiments at the same time because I'm not planning on cutting her out. So what I'll do is I cut it out nice and neat, okay? And then I will have these to use at another time. And they're really cute sentiments, but they're not the kind of sentiments that I want to use today. So we've got these cute little girls, Marcy, and we've got two stamps with Marcy, of which I just totally adore. It's just the camera, just a little bit. We actually have 3 of her, and I've laid the other one down, can't put my hands on it. But the other little girl has on a big, bulky sweater. So obviously she's the one that I wanted to use today. Oh, let's see what I do with her. Oh, I have no clue where she went, but I was planning on using her today. She's just hiding from me, which you know, that's kind of normal. But that's okay. This one's got a sweater and a jacket on, so I'm probably going to use her today. She is the one that I just cut the sentiments on. And it says, today's outlooks, comfy clothes, and can-do spirit. And the other sentiment says, a lot of good vibes. So these girls are really cute. They're fun to color. And if you've been playing with any of your Olo markers or your water markers or even your watercolor pencils, you're going to love both, or should I say all 3 of those. There's several of the little Marcy's in there. We just don't happen to have all of them in the store yet. Don't you just love that word, yet? It means something new is coming. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little girl down. Now, many of you asked me, okay, Elaine, so how did you get that grid to fit on your thing? So if I'm going to be using my stamping wheel, and I feel like that I need to have a grid to know where to place my card, I simply put my little sticky mat, and these mats are really inexpensive, underneath it, and it works just great. But today I need to take that sticky mat out because my precious little girl needs to be, she's on a red rubber stamp, so she needs to be on something that will give her less issues with the process of sticking it down. So what happens is I just pulled out my thick sticky mat, put this one down. As you can see, I will pick up my stamp, no issue. Now I am working with watercolor paper today, and the reason that I'm doing that is I've decided that I want to use my Tim Holtz watercolor markers on here, and then that way I will have the ability to use my watercolor markers. Now, if you don't know, they're on sale. So if you're not on my page, then you don't know that you're missing out on some pretty good stuff right now. Okay, so here we go. We're stamping off Marcy, and I am using my Ulta New Jet Black. This is not a permanent ink. It is a watercolor ink, and normally I would use a permanent ink, but I'm not going to be getting her super wet, and I think I'm going to probably make a mistake, but I am going to try to use her without putting any permanent ink on it right now. If that doesn't work, you'll know why. Elaine didn't use the right ink. Oh well, let's get this done, because sometimes I can make it work. Watercolor paper is sometimes a little bit tricky. Alright, so that's still a little light for what I want. And part of it being light might be the fact that it's not quite hitting my stamp, my paper hard enough. So I have a solution for that as well. I'm just going to take a couple of pieces of paper, and I am using the cardstock from, let's get this down. I may need to go ahead and turn that over, because you know as good as I do, after I picked it up, it is not going to jump in there and fit in the right place. So here we go. Don't you just love it when you stamp off the cuff and watch Elaine make mistakes for a change? Oh, well, good morning. I have a whole group of you that's come up to play with us today. So hello to you. I get to see Cindy. She's my behind the scenes girl. She's also the one that's going to help you get your birthday card every year. Over to the side. And I am going to start working on my watercolors. Now, so often people say to me, Elaine, how do you make your watercolors work for you? Well, now, I'm in love with the Tim Holtz watercolor markers. I love them because they're watercolors through and through. I also love them because there's such a great variety of water with them. So here we go. We've got these all down. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my water, and I'm just going to put it on my mat. Now, if you don't have a glass mat to work on, you can work on a sticky mat. You can work on all kinds of things, as long as you've got a place that you can put your paint down. I say paint, but you know what I mean, where you can put your watercolor markers down. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is grab me a little bit of water. Notice how I just rub it right off the tip of my marker. I'm going on ahead and I'm letting it rub all over my mat because it's easy to clean, number one. Number two, it gives me a place to jump in and just grab my water. So let's get me some more down here because I didn't quite get enough. I have a tendency to do that from time to time. All right, so let's see what we got here. And I am going to jump in here and I'm going to make her sweater a little bit on the red side. And I'm doing that because I want to make this kind of like a Christmas. It could be a Christmas ugly sweater. I don't know that I really want her to have on ugly clothes, but we could definitely try it to see how we can go with it. Now notice as I'm putting this down, I'm using quick little brush strokes. And that's because I want this sweater to look like a sweater. I don't want it to be all nice and smooth. Also notice that one of the things that's going on here is that as I put it down, my inks are getting lighter and lighter. And that's kind of what I want because I would really like to do some blending with this. So I'm putting her sweater down quick and easy. Again, this card may take us a little longer. I may not completely finish coloring her out today, but I'm sure you've watched me do enough watercoloring that you can go ahead and finish your card out. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so there's my red. And you know, when I get ready to clean my my brush, I usually just kind of wipe it off over to the side get all of the ink out of it, and I'm ready to move on. Now, my little girl has on her Christmas outfit, so I'm going to come down here and touch up her shoes just a little bit. If you also notice, my brush is a little big for this little tiny spot. So you may want to grab you a small brush to do this as well. I have a tendency to grab brushes that are a little bit bigger because I'm so used to doing big projects. But that's okay. I can do whichever I want. Now see how I'm making her tennis shoes come up here and match her sweater? But yet at the same time, they're not exactly the same color. I determine my color when I'm using watercolor brushes by simply how much actual paint I have on my brush. Okay, so there we go. I am going to need a much, much smaller brush because she's got some little places on her. Oh, I just gotta love her. She's so cute. All right, so the next thing I want to do is, if I'm going to make this a Christmas one, I'm going to come back and I am going to use a green. Let me get this wet here. Had a dry brush. It wasn't coming off real well. Now notice how as I'm pulling it off right here on my glass mat. And if it dries before I'm done with it, all I have to do is just come back in here and grab it and add some more color to it by simply adding water to it. This brush is a little bit on the wild side. Well, the day's just not going to be my day, but that's okay because all I'm doing is putting down a little bit of color for her on her jeans. There we go. So remember, ugly sweaters just not in my forte. Sorry, girls, I have a hard time with that. Ugly sweater? I just got to know, how many of you do have ugly sweaters? It's so funny to me. I always like to see people wearing ugly sweaters, and I'm thinking, okay, you really want to be seen in public with that? But that's okay. That's okay. It works. Whatever works for you, right? All right, so notice I'm doing, again, a little bit of blending with her jeans. I'm making the top of her jeans a little bit darker, and I'm making the front of her jeans kind of look like jeans, and I'm doing that with my brush. And it's so crazy, but you can really make your brushes do so many things just by what kind of brush you pick up. That's why we carry a package of brushes. That way you can have more than one brush in your home, but at the same time on the inside of your craft room, you can use these brushes for, so many different things. Now this brush is, like I said, when I picked it up, it's a little bit on the wild side. So look at how nice it makes my little girl's jeans look. I can make the back side look like they have a seam on them. And at the same time, I'm making the front of these jeans look like that, they're jean material. It's not that solid color. And that's what I wanted for my little girl. I wanted her to have on her jean material. So I'm going to, since I just wet my brush and I just wet my paint, I'm obviously going to want to do the back of it first. And notice that I'm not doing both legs identical. That's because one leg's facing the front, the other one's facing the back, so the light and the shadow is going to be a little bit different. All right, so here we go. We're putting this down. And again, I am just kind of giving it strokes, brush strokes. Jeans never have the same appearance on both sides. If you always notice your jeans, you'll notice that they have lines in them, or they're just not going to be smooth. Now I did get one side a little darker than the other, so I am going to add a tiny bit more paint to this side. But at the same time, these are jeans. Yes. So see, there you go. I've got my girls in her jeans, and I've got my girl so that she is, she's getting ready. She's getting ready for Christmas. So I am going to want to come back in here and do her hair. And I am going to do her hair in brown. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and do a detailed coloring on our girl. I'm just going to do a little bit of touch up and color. So I apologize, but I am one of those girls that colors, that likes to come in and, oh, I meant to show you this. So let's do it now. So notice how I just get the end of my marker wet, and then I can come back in here and color using my marker. Now, this is a different way of using them, but it works oh so well. One of the things that I always tell people when they're using these markers is that you can actually take a regular pencil sharpener, make these markers have a point to them, and then take the adhesive, or the excuse me, not adhesives, the trimming that comes with your sharpening, dump it out, put it on a palette, and then you'll find that you can use that palette just by adding water. So you don't waste anything, not even the parts that you use to sharpen. Now notice for the back side of her hair, I'm doing it a little bit darker, and that's simply because my girl needs some highlights in her hair. So the back, if you're not, somebody's gonna have to buzz me, because I really think it just blinked. Okay, so here we go. You know how to color, girls. This is just like coloring with a crayon, coloring books and crayons. And again, I am going to make the back side of her hair a little bit darker. And I do love the way that I can make these markers just show me all kinds of lines and things on the inside of her hair. But I'm not done with it. This is not where I'm going to stop with her hair. I'm also going to add some additional color just by using my same coloring here and my marker. So my water seems to be drying up pretty quick this morning. Might have something to do with I'm a little bit on the hot side up here today. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm coming back, and notice how in the areas right here it's a little bit lighter and these are a little bit darker. Well, that happened because I started off using a brush that had a tiny bit of red in it. So what I'm doing is actually just more or less getting my brush wet. And then you can see that by getting my brush wet, I can come back and make the color of her hair different. And that's what I love about working with watercolors. I can put it down. This is also something that you'll want to teach your granddaughters to do, because when they're using watercolors, they're going to love the fact that they can make it, put it down, and then come back and make it something different just by adding a little bit of water to their brush. So as you can see, this makes it really different than what it was when it was just colored with the coloring. Like it almost colors it like you would if you were using a crayon. But remember, these are watercolor pencils, and so they do great with your water. All right, so here we go. I'm going to pull this up close to the camera in just a minute so that you can see what a difference it makes from side to side. Now, of course, I can come in here and give this little girl some really great detail, but my plan is to just give you some ideas on how to do some different kinds of coloring. So look at the difference. See how this one is all opened up, not shaded in, but when I come back and I do this side, her hair looks like real hair, and it's all shaded in. Now, I do want to show you one more thing that you can do. I can come back with her hair. That's a dried marigold. Let's see what it's going to look like. I can come back with her hair and add some highlights. So, like I said, don't be afraid to try your colors. They're super great. And when I add highlights, I like to have two colors on my brush. So let's come back in here and do the opposite side of her head. And I did add just a tiny bit of the gold. It doesn't look like I've really added enough to do anything extra, adding any kind of extra color. Or I have my brown too thick on my paper, which, you know, that kind of happens. So here we go. We've got our girl in her sweater. We haven't done her jacket yet. I wanted to do her jacket before we start pulling this card together. And if you'll watch, I will post this card finished on my page, because I'm probably not going to have an opportunity to completely finish it. So a little bit more facts about what I'm doing. I did stamp her, and I am coloring her on watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is what you'll want to use anytime you are painting with your watercolor pencils. I don't know why my water keeps drying out on me today. There you go. All right, so as you can see, I'm starting to add a few streaks in her hair. And that's to make her hair look more natural. And streaks are easy to do, guys. All you do is just add extra color to your brush. And when you have that extra color, it makes it look a little bit darker. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted her hair to look like it's real. I don't want it to look like fake hair. Fake hair. We can call that all kinds of things, can't we? So here you go. So there you go. As you can see, I've made her hair a few different colors. Now, I'm not going to get into doing skin tones today because skin tones are a whole new breed of what we've got going on. And not only that, but skin tones are easier done in different kinds of paint, not necessarily on your, not necessarily being done on just your watercoloring. Okay. All right. So I do need to do a little bit more changes because I do still want to do her jacket. And I kind of decided as I've been working here that I want her jacket to match her pants. So I'm going to do a little bit of coloring here. Notice that I put down a lot of water on my green. Whoops, it helps use the right side of the brush. And I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to put down quite a bit of this green because I do want it to be a little bit darker than what her actual jeans are. Now, this is like the inside of her jacket. So you can see here that I'm going to make the inside of her jacket a little bit darker. Now, it looks like she's got on a short sleeve shirt, but I'm kind of doing a jacket, sweater. So I think I'm going to color her skin. Notice how you can color her skin, and it actually makes it look like it really is a part of her coat. So I need to add a tiny bit of water to that. I want to keep it in with my red. So there you go. That's a little bit different in shade, but that's quite okay. And now I'm going to come back with her jacket, and I am going to make it a little bit darker. I'm going to kind of do it like I did with her sweater, where I just sort of make it into colors here. Oh, well, it also looks like her shirt's a little short. Girl, we got to get you ready for winter. We are not playing with summer. So you can see how you can take these poor girls and take them from winter to summer just by changing up their outfit just a little bit. And that's what I'm doing with my girl here. Just changing up her outfit a little bit. And again, I'm not going to go back and do anything in the form of skin tones today on camera. That is a big, long class. If you want to take that class, just send me an email, and I'll make sure we get it on the schedule for you so that you can watch us do a skin tone class. I've already taught that class one time. I think the ladies really enjoyed it. Many of you really decided that that was where you liked using your Olo markers. And I can still go back and do Olo markers on her. That would not be an issue at all. So there you go. You can see we've got color added to her jacket. This is more of the outside. I think I need to come back and add some more color to the opposite side, just because I want her jacket to look like it all belongs together. Don't want it to look like she's got on two different jackets here. One on one arm, one on the other one, right? But again, I do want her pants to look not quite as thickly colored as her jacket does. There we go. I'm happy with that. So what do you think? You happy with that? Gotta tell me. I gotta know what you think. I also noticed you got a little bit of tummy showing here. So I'm gonna come back and make it a darker bottom. That way it looks like it's got a ridge on it. Okay, so there's my girl, and I have colored all of her that I'm going to color in this particular setting. But there is something that I want to show you because we are going to try to finish her off as a card. So I went through and looked at a few of my embellishments. Now, y'all know that I've done Deck the Halls in our class. And I've been kind of sneaking in some added ways that they can use our embellishments for that. And this is a little bit big because I was thinking she could hold this candy cane. How about that for cute? I can set up here with her holding her candy cane, and then she'll look like she's got something in her hand. Looks like my computer is going on the blink. So let me take 1 second and plug that baby back up. There you go. So I can make it look like she's holding that candy cane in either hand. She can hold it in either hand I want her to hold it in. But I like it when she's holding it up a little higher. Isn't that cute? I am going to put that down. And again, we know that the best Christmas gift you can get a friend who's a crafter is going to be a precision glue gun, because we know that these things, oh, they are just awesome. We do have these on the inside of the craft room. They are in stock, as is the adhesive. So you can be sure and come back and get these to go along with your best friend who does crafting with you. You can come back and get these along with her. All right, so let's start working on what we want to do with our card, because as I said, I'm not going to finish out doing things like her skin tones and those kind of things. All right, so let's get all these things up here and out of my way, because I want to show you a few tools that I've become very partial to, and I am using them in my craft room every single day. So it makes for super, super, super nice way of having things put together. I've lost my rag. Let's see. Okay. We'll just work over top of it. What you think? So what I'm doing is I am showing you the Caterpillar, and this Caterpillar is just a scoreboard, but it's not just a scoreboard. We're going to start seeing them put on lights, and you may not be able to tell. Oh, I know how to fix it so you can see it. But this scoreboard is see-through. So you see, you can see the green very vaguely over underneath the bottom of it. But the point with this is that you will be able to use this with a light underneath it. And trust me, ladies, you're going to think you have just walked into heaven. Now, I pulled my pen out because I wanted to show it to you, and now I've lost it. Can you go figure me losing anything? Well, if I didn't lose something, then we obviously wouldn't be on video. So let me see. What did I do with it? What did I do with it? It's a very unique pen in that it has a stylet ball on the end of it. Well, where did I put it? I don't think I've dropped it. Maybe coffee will help me. Oh, there it is. There you go. All right. So this is the stylet that comes with it, and it goes right here on the inside of this pocket. And if you keep it here, you won't have the problem that I have of losing it when you need it. But it does clip in, so it stays very snug and secure in there. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score my card at 4 1/4, which is pretty standard for us. But I want you to watch something. This scoreboard is so easy to use. Notice how I just go straight down. Now, I do want to show you a few tips and tricks about it. If you do it up like this, you have a tendency to fall out of line. So make sure that you just kind of hold it at an angle and come down with it. You only have to do it one time. I did it a few times because I really did want you to see how easy it is to use. When you pick it up, you just fold your card back, and it is ready to use. Now, I love this scoreboard. I have been using one of these for a long, long time, and just didn't realize that I wasn't showing it to you and giving you the benefit of seeing how great they are. But I was able to get a few of them in our store, and they are on sale, ladies. So you need to jump online and go ahead and get that before it sells out, because I don't think we're going to be able to get any more in. It looked like that was a one-time deal for all of us. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and show you something else. I had someone tell me that they really liked this scoreboard, but they had no way of cutting anything less than an inch. That in order to measure an inch, they were having trouble with it. So I want to show you how you can cut any size on here you want to cut. So what I have done is line the edge of my card up right here with the part that cuts. And remember, it cuts right along this line. So what I've done is I've put it in there and I've put it where I want it. Now, I want to cut off 1/8 of an inch on each side. So all I do is, I can see right there it's at 4 1/4. I just bring it in that 1/8 of an inch. And look at that, smooth cut every time. Now, I want to go back onto the other side because I want my card to end up being just 4 inches. So, I just come back and cut off that 1/8 of an inch. Look at how awesome that is. Perfect cut every time. Now, one thing you need to remember about this is that, and I'm doing the same thing on the top and bottom, okay? So one of the things that you need to remember about this particular product is that it is self-sharpening. So guess what, girls? You are never, never, never going to need to buy blades, because as this runs along the edge, it sharpens it. So you're not going to need to come up and buy blades anymore. Once you've got your cutter pillar, you're done. You don't need anything else. Look at there. Got that perfect edging all the way around. Now, I did pull out this really pretty glitter paper because I kept thinking I really wanted that behind it. But the more I look at it, the more I don't think I want it to go all the way around it. So look what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to bring it down so that this will be going all the way to the corner of the card, yet my card here might be showing just the side. And you know, the more I look at that, the less I like it. So we may have to take it out, but I love my glitter. Let's see. If I take my paper and make it bigger, let's see if I can do that. Oh, I can, but it's still going to have a red edging. Okay, I have an idea. So you guys got to follow along here, see what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut this. It's already at 4. So I'm going to turn it around and cut it at 5 1/4. And I am very willing to guess that my other one is smaller than that, which means I need for this to be less, right? So I am going to come back, and she's a little bit like not in the middle, which probably doesn't surprise any of you ladies. So I'm going to take a little bit more off of that side. But when I go to do this side, I definitely want it to be at that 3 1/4 length. Now, of course, this way, I've got it at 5 1/4, and I do want to cut it down. So I am going to cut most of it off of the bottom, and I'm not going to cut any off the top at all. I know she looks a little funny without her skin done, but I promise you we'll get that done. And if you are interested in that class, you definitely need to message me so that I will be sure to schedule that class, whether it's online or in person. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. All right, so let's get this done. Notice with I just kind of drop it on. And though it looks like I put a lot of ink, a lot of glue on that, I want you to look. There's just a few dots on it. I don't come back and put a whole lot of glue on it. All right, and I'm going to put it down. Look, that just makes her green pants pop. So I'm rubbing that down. And then I'm going to come back and do the same thing with this one. I'm going to put it down. Now, if you haven't been doing the Mama's Kitchen, I have exactly 1 cookbook left. And we are going to be doing that again this Saturday. So come and join us in making your cookbook on Saturday. If you are one of my online friends, then you'll be really happy to know that the cookbook comes with its own directions. And of course, those directions are complete. And you can change it in any way you want to. Now, I need to open up my card because I want to put something on the inside of it. So here we go. Now, this card was actually going to be my base, but as you can see, I very well changed my mind. So I want to cut it back to 4 1/4 by, 4 by 5 1/4, which is so easy to do. You know, I just got to show you how awesome this trimmer is. I'm going to cut off what I call a smidgen. Look at that cut. And it comes off like this every single time. It is just perfect. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So the trimmer for me is a must. And it is my go-to trimmer when I'm working in my craft room. I know I've been showing online the little one. And that works. The little one works. What am I trying to say here? The Dress by Crafts trimmer, it works. You know, your Stampin' Up! Trimmer works. But how many times are you buying blades? Worse still, how many times do the companies come up and they discontinue a trimmer and don't make the blade anymore? Which means your trimmer is no good at all anymore. Okay, so that just makes you want to sit down somewhere and cry. All right, so since I'm doing some things that I can show you where you can use different things, we are going to come back and get our sentiments from the inside here. And we're going to come out and we're going to do, oh, may your day be merry and bright. How about that? And this is a rub-on, so you're going to get to see me do the rub-on, which, I mean, I like rub-ons. There was a time I didn't, but oh my gosh, they're so much better than what they used to be. Not only that, I get to actually line this one up. That's always a good idea. And I like to use my bone folder. I'm not real big on the popsicle sticks that come with it, but you can use them. They work. I mean, it's not like they don't work. This rub-on is actually by Spellbinders. So I can tell you right up front, it's a good quality rub-on. And it is called, it's not part of the Deck the Halls. It is called, I can't read it. It is called Joyful Wishes. And we do have these in stock, so you can enjoy getting them from us. And they make your Christmas cards go so much faster. You don't have to stamp it. You don't have to worry about, am I stamped it? Is it going to come out looking all right? With this, if I pick it up and it's not right, all I have to do is just lay it down before I pull it all the way up. I didn't get that one off all the way. I thought I didn't, but it's a good opportunity to show you just what you need to do with it. Here we go. We're putting it down. I'll do a little better. Okay. So, let's see if I'm getting it now. There we go. It's some better. I am thinking that the moisture in the air is making a difference in how these are coming out as well. Okay, now let's see how she's doing. That one's already popped up at that end. Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's doing right now. Oh, got that little top of the B. So much easier to lay that back down and make it work than it is to try to re-stamp on top of it. Even when you have a stamping positioner, I mean, you still have a tendency to not always get it straight. But with this, if it's not right, you see how I just push it back down and rub it again and it comes right up. And I'm meticulous. I want every inch of this to come up. I don't want, you know, that little bitty piece on the R or the little bitty piece on the M. I don't want all of those places not coming up. So I am I'm bringing it up slowly. If it's not there, I'm putting it back down and making it be there. Look at there. How pretty is that? Gorgeous. Just simply gorgeous. Now, I only have one more thing that I need to tell you guys I absolutely cannot go without doing. And we're at 23 minutes, so if I do it, it'll be okay. I want to add some glitter to it. You know how I am. I just like it when my girls have a little bit of glitter to them, and I can't think of a better way to fix an ugly sweater than with some beautiful glitter. So that's what I'm doing. I'm adding a little bit of glitter to her sweater. Now remember, I used watercolor on this. So I got to be careful that I don't move my color. So it's real important that when I put this glitter down, I put it down easy, easy peasy. There you go. So you can see we got the glitter on her. We got the glitter around her. I can make my candy cane with a little bit of glitter. And to tell you what I'm using the Nouveau Shimmer. I love these things. They come in a set of 2 for half the price of your, what was the name of that? Winka Stellar. These are like half the price. And the other thing that I like too is that I can get it in just one color. And I can make it whatever color I want by simply picking it up in color. So I didn't do her belt. So when I do her belt, I can do it in the green, which is what I'm doing here. I'm picking up the green. And I'm just adding a little bit of the shimmer with it. So now she has on a green shimmer belt versus, and I think I'm going to add a little darker green because I just want her belt to be a little darker. I could have made it silver. Ooh, didn't think about that. There we go. And again, you can see how it just makes it shine. And I do love that. All right. So there you go, ladies. This is our card. I am going to put something across the front. I have several ideas of what I want to do across the front. And I do promise you that I will do her skin tones, and I'll take you a picture of her the full card. I will probably do her skin tones in water as well, just to give you an idea of what skin tones in water look like. So once again, thank you for joining us with Coffee and Crafting. I hope that you get your big hugs today from everybody you see. If not, just send them over and tell them, hey, I need a big hug. People will give it to you all day long. Most importantly, I hope that you are enjoying what you craft and craft what you love. I do want to thank Pam Webb for checking in on us, and I see Cindy checked in on us. Oh gosh, I see so many of you checking in on us. I just love seeing you ladies here. Poor Sandy, she's having to work, but I can guarantee you that girl will check us out a little later on. I also want to thank Brenda for joining in with us, and I want to also make a very special thank you to my friend Ariel, because Ariel has been trying to catch me for the longest time, and I see she caught up with us today. Okay, so I'm going to check off with you ladies a little bit later on. In the meantime, enjoy your crafting, love what you craft, and craft what you love. Bye!